Hello, Grove family. My name is Nicole Robinson, and I am here to share with you for our follow up to our Follow Me series. We're taking a look at Mark 10, and if you did not get a chance to listen to in person or online Daniel Bishop's sermon on Mark 10, I would love to invite you to go back and take a look at that. Our goal of these follow up series is to take a look at a section of the chapter that was not covered in the sermon. So take a moment, go back and take a look at it, and then come back and join me here. If you did get a chance to listen to Daniel, his sermon ended very powerfully, asking what barriers are keeping us, me and you, from following Jesus. And so I'm going to jump in at Mark 10, verse 46, and we're taking a look at Jesus healing Bartimaeus. So let's take a listen. And they came to Jericho, and as he was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a great crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind beggar, the son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And many in the crowd rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he cried out all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." And they called to the blind man, saying to him, "Take heart, get up, he is calling you." And throwing off his cloak, he sprang up and came to Jesus. And Jesus said to him, "What do you want me to do for you?" And the blind man said to him, "Rabbi, let me recover my sight." And Jesus said to him, "Go your way, your faith has made you well." And immediately he recovered his sight and followed him on the way. And as I read this, what stood out to me was Jesus' question. What would you have me do for you? What do you want me to do for you? And if you've read Mark 10, you know that that question was also posed to James and John earlier. And their response was very different than the blind man. Their response was about prestige. They wanted to sit with Jesus in heaven, but they wanted the prestige and honor that came from that. But this blind man responds very differently. And he comes knowing immediately who Jesus is. He's sitting on the road and he hears that Jesus of Nazareth is coming. And he knows immediately who he is. And he calls out to him, "Son of David," he says to him. "Son of David, have mercy on me." And he is fearless in that moment, completely full of faith. And he comes with a boldness because this is a blind man, he's a beggar. And I'm imagining in that situation that he's probably dirty. From what I understand, the cloak that he's given is a cloak that is issued by the government to legitimize his ability to beg, or to, when people see him, to go, yes, he's a beggar and this is acceptable to give to him. And so he throws that cloak and comes boldly and fearlessly to Jesus without barriers. Because those that were in that crowd, they were telling him, "Hey, don't go. You can't talk to Jesus. You're not worthy of this." But he was not deterred by that. And so as I think about how Daniel ended with this idea of what barriers are keeping us from following Jesus, Bartimaeus had a ton of barriers. He was blind, he was poor, and he was also being rebuked by the crowd. But that did not stop him. And so I began to think about this idea that God is calling us to a whatever it takes faith and a whatever it takes prayer. And thinking about what that might mean for us. What does it mean to have whatever it takes faith? To come boldly, to ask what we need. I think we're willing to ask. I think we're willing to do that. But we're often asking for things that are topical. Oh, please help me with this situation. Oh, my daughter, my children, I need this job. We need more money. But a whatever it takes faith is this idea that we come to God and we say to him, "I am willing to do whatever it takes in this situation to glorify you." And this chapter ends with Jesus saying to Bartimaeus, "You have your faith, go." And Bartimaeus has a choice in that moment. He can go off and live his life, but he doesn't do that. He goes off and he follows Jesus. In Luke 18, it says he goes and follows Jesus and he glorifies him. And so in this whatever it takes faith and in this whatever it takes prayer, we are asking God that, hey, I want you to intercede in this situation, but I am willing to do whatever it takes to glorify your name. And so I challenge you, Growth Family, today to pray at whatever it takes prayer and to have whatever it takes faith. Think about it, marinate on it, talk to God a little bit more, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.